Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today my name is Andy and today we're back with the latest episode in the Classic Cars in Motorsport series. It's definitely been motoring along. Been doing it, well, started last year with the F1 Classic Cars and continued on this year. We've done Porsche, we've done Indy, we've done Le Mans, we've done quite a bit already, and this is the latest one from the Le Mans 24-hour classic cars, and it is an absolute beauty in my opinion. You see it on the screen right now. It is the Mclaren F1 GTR. It's the long tail version from 1997, and of course this car is famous for one particular victory, which we will get onto very shortly. But before I do get onto the car, thank you very much if you are watching. I do hope you're enjoying this series. Let me know below if you are, because I do enjoy making these. They're a lot of fun to make. Gives me the chance to, get my geeky motorsport side out, because I love the history of stuff like this. So do let me know, and if you have found this video and you haven't subbed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon as well. Plenty more coming throughout the rest of the year. Back to the McLaren though. Now, it was created by design guru Gordon Murray, who's known for his F1 cars with Brabham, including that fan car, and obviously the near unbeatable McLaren MP44 from 1988. He had set out with the intention of creating the ultimate road car with the F1, started designing it in the late 80s, and it eventually got launched in the mid 1990s. I think it was 1994 was when the road car was launched. Now, it was never intended for the F1 to go racing, but not long after launch, the fastest road car in the world was quite well sought after by a number of people to turn into a race car. The fastest road car was, of course, the McLaren at the time. Didn't get the record until 1998, done 240.1 miles an hour, held that record to 2005. And you think of some of the cars we've had during that time, that's a heck of a record. Eventually though, Gordon Murray did relent and decided to create the GTR. Most of the badgering to him to make the car came about through the creation of the BPR Global GT series in 1994, and he eventually made the cars and chassis were ready in time for 1995. The series seen cars like the Ferrari F40, the Porsche 911 Turbo, and many others. So finally the car came out, and it had a glorious 6.1 litre BMW V12. It did have to put an air restrictor on in terms of the series, so it was actually 600 horsepower. The road car was actually more powerful than the race car, but because of all the changes with the body work and the flicks and the rear wing on it, it was much quicker because it was much more faster in the corners than the road car. Obviously, the rumour was it could technically drive on the ceiling at 100 miles an hour. It created that much downforce. Having driven the car in the game, I'm not too sure about that claim, but obviously we hear it all the time from F1 teams. But eventually it went into racing, and it done pretty well. It raced around about, I think it was 120 or so races. It won 38 of them. It had 6 pole positions, and it won it won the BPR title the 2 years that it properly ran a championship, 1995 and 1996. But the biggest achievement, of course, was at the Circuit de la Sarthe, and that was in 1995. The debut year at Le Mans for the McLaren was 1995. They went mob-handed with 6 cars, and they were kind of expected to be slower overall than the LMP prototypes that came in. The problem for the prototypes is they were brand new and they were fragile, I think is the easiest way to put it. Also, what helped the McLaren though was that in the 1995 race they had some help with fuel regulations that allowed them to run longer and things like that, but also the rain came. It rained for a huge proportion of the race, and that really did help along the McLarens, and eventually they came to the end of the race and it was a McLaren 1, 3, 4, 5. There was only one car between them on that year, and it was one of the LMP prototype cars, but it was a Courage Competition entry. It was a Courage C34 with a Porsche engine in the back. with Mario Andretti at the wheel, and that had a crash as well during the race, so it just shows you how much that the great Mario can do. But it won the race. It was actually the number 59 car that won, and it was technically, the chassis was loaned to the team, which was Kosuki Katsuyu Racing, I think is how you pronounce it, probably butchered it. 40% of the staff were made up of McLaren staff because it was such a last thing. The chassis was actually a test chassis that McLaren kept, and they loaned it out for the race, and it ended up winning it at its first attempt. Driving the car were Frenchman Yannick Dalmas, Japan's Masanoro Sekayo, probably butchered that one as well, and Finland's JJ Leto as well, taking the victory by a full lap over the Courage C34 behind it. Now, of course, what that means is we've got to take it around the Nurburgring and see what it can do around there. Now, this thing, I will tell you now, this thing is a blast to drive. If you have not driven this car yet in Project Cars 2, as soon as you finish watching this, get on and get a go on it. It is absolutely brilliant. It is such a laugh, and you'll hear it in my voice when you're watching the lap here. But let us take this beautiful car onto the Green Hell in Germany, and let's see just how quick it can really go around the Nordschleife. So we are on the Nordschleife Nurburgring. We are in a 1997 Mclaren F1 GTR. I'm not sure about that purple gear shifter you can see there. That looks like it belongs in a sex shop. But talking of porn, look at that. I am a sucker for a golf liveried car, and that is beautiful. And what else is beautiful, if you listen, is that BMW V12. Let's ring it out and have a bit of fun with this thing. No ABS, no assists of any sort in this thing, even though it was in the mid-90s and they'd started coming in. Obviously Williams had gone total electrics in 92 in the F1 car. Going to be quite tentative into turn 1. Easy on throttle on the way out, and down the hill we go, quickly up into 4th gear. A little lift through here, you can back in trying to step out slightly on me there, quickly into 5th gear, and then 4th, and then chuck it into 3rd. Bit more on the brakes. We'll just keep it in 3rd just to help us through here. Nice and easy on the curves, a little bit of braking here, and down to 2nd for the left-handers to help us through. Quickly back up to 3rd, and then back down to 2nd, climbing all over the curbs. Up to 3rd quickly to help us drive out, and then heading towards the Flugplatz. Here we go. Now you'd have to lift over here or you go flying like the 99 Mercedes does. You can see the car just wanting to lift off it. It settles down 146 the whole way through almost there, and now we can let the car sing and get up towards its top speed. 6th gear, 7,600 RPMs. We chuck it into 6. Gonna have to lift just slightly through here as the car wants to go light over that little bit of crest, and down the gears we go, chucking it into the right hander. Quickly back up if we're climbing all over the curves, didn't want to be doing that. And down the valley we go. I'm going to try if I can to hold in 5th gear here rather than going to 6, just purely because it's easier for downshifting into this part. Again, keep it in 2nd, drivability. I didn't really want to be catching that curb on the inside, and we get away with it though. And then up through the gears we go one more time, quickly. It's so quick this car gets up to speed. It really does. Quick downshift to 4th, into the left-hander. Didn't really want to catch the curbs there. Down to 2nd gear, probably too hard on the brakes there, but anyway, able to get it turned in, won't make too much of a difference. Quickly up to 3rd gear again, and then back down to 2nd. Tricky right-hander here. Scrubbed a bit too much speed off there, climbing the curbs. Fast chicane, little lift off in the way, and you see the camber part just wants to throw you, and then we don't want to be climbing that curb there too much. I spun it on a previous lap, having some practice. Down to 3rd gear we go, and then not slowing down enough there. Definitely not getting it all kinds of wrong through that part, but we get away with it, and we're underway again. Try and just throw it in. You want to try and keep the car running as quick as possible. They say that this car was capable of, allegedly, creating so much downforce you could drive out on the roof at 100 miles an hour. I'm not too sure about that, but it's a lively thing. Flat out through Bergwick, down to third gear, and I'll chuck it into second just before it tightens up quickly, and now we can let that BMW V12 stretch its legs a bit up through this section. Up the hill it goes, so we won't quite hit 6th gear until we get onto that back straight, just because it's going up the hill. Much easier to just hold it in 5th. We will need a quick brake and downshift for this left-hander though. It is not flat out, but you can go a bit quicker than you expect to sometimes. You can see where the downforce works if you've got the balls to keep it going. Down the gears again, coming up towards the carousel now. This flap has flown by, and a bit like that Porsche Can-Am, although it's newer technology, this thing is giving me a workout. Completely made a mess of the carousel, so I'm going to have to take my time going around the outside now. It's a complete mistake there. That's what I get for block shifting from 4th to 2nd there in one go. 4th gear, keep it chucked in nice and easy, and then down to 3rd gear we go, throw it into the first left, back to the other side for the right. Nicely done, holding it nicely down to 2nd gear. Oh, that back end wanted to step out there because I've done that much too quickly, and it just wanted to back out on me a little bit there, but managed to control it. Chucking it all over the place here, over the curbs, over everything. 3rd gear, hold it nicely, just avoid getting to the exit curb. Down to 2nd gear again, up to 3rd quickly. Oh, put it in neutral, didn't mean that. Got away with it, and then messed up a gear change again. To come through YouTube corner, going to run wide as heck. Get away with it. I just need to calm down a little bit. I'm getting a wee bit brave and a bit stupid. Coming down this tricky section downhill, double braking zone. You put it in the 5th, quickly down to 4th, and then down to 3rd you go. Throw it into the corner, plant the throttle down, and you better be careful here. I actually got airborne down this bit here as I went over, so I'm having to lift off massively, and I don't really want to be, but we're in 5th gear now, and the car's just singing along. You see how much it wants to snap out to come along. Going to drop it to 4th for the right hander, using curbing and grass and everything. We're using all the track we can, trying to absolutely monster this thing around into the mini carousel. We're coming up to the end of the lap time. It's actually going to be a decent lap by the looks of it. We're only 5 minutes 30 at the moment. It's going to be all 6 minutes if we just keep it together. Well, that's not going to help us. Up to the 4th, now we can really let this engine go. Now I've got this in default ratios, so it's not quite going to get to its top speed, but it's definitely going to get up there. We're going to let it go right up to the rev limiter. Change up to 6 here just before we get to the rise, and we should be knocking over the top of 180 miles an hour as we come over the rise of crest and down the hill in a moment's time. Here we go, watch that speedo rise just a little bit more. There it is, 180 miles an hour, up to 181. I'm going to try and be brave through here, but it's the final part of the lap and I don't want to be making messes into here because it's taken long enough to get to this point. Oh, somehow get it turned in to the corner. Final turn, running very wide as it understeers. Heading towards the line. It's a 6 minutes 26. Holy moly me's. Gee whiz, that was friggin' mental. What's that? We're a good wee bit off the world records, but it's a default setup and I ain't the quickest racer in the world, but that oh my goodness me, that has put a heck of a smile on my face. I'll tell you what, this was fun. I need to drive this car a bit more, I'll tell you that much, but that is it for this video. If you have enjoyed it, do hit the subscribe button. We've got the final part of Le Mans month coming up next week, and it is the latest cars. We're going to be looking at this year's race winning car, the 2019 Toyota Hybrid. So that will be the final car to take on the ring for Le Mans month, and of course we've already driven the 919 Porsche LMP round here, so it's got a definite benchmark to look for. Be interesting to see how it does. But say if you enjoyed it, hit likes, comment below, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you know anytime any videos go live. I will have my race review up of the French Grand Prix as well, and also coming up, it's a brand new F1 game, and I'm going to be playing it as soon as I get my hands in it. That'll be going, I'll actually be broadcasting some of that I think on Twitch, so you can find my Twitch channel in the description down below as well, or just go to the main page, there's a little link there also. Until next time, thank you very much for joining me. Until then, see you soon. Ta-ra.